Okay, so we've got 2x squared minus 12x plus 7, and we want to express it into vertex form. Okay, so we're going to do x is equal to negative b over 2a. Why don't you go ahead and pause this and find out what the x is for the vertex, then substitute that in and find the y for the vertex, and then rewrite this in vertex form, and then start back up again. Okay, so if I do negative b, that's going to be positive 12, and then over 2a, that's going to be over 4. So my x part of my vertex is going to be 3. When I substitute the 3 back into the function, I find out that it's going to be a negative 11. So there's my vertex right there. I already know what my a is. That's a 2. It's the same in both forms of this equation. So I just got to fill it in, and I got it. Now, if b, it says I want the range for f. So the range of f, all the possible y's. I should look at the vertex. I've got the vertex that opens up, and the smallest possible y is negative 11. Go ahead and pause this and write down what you think the range is, and then start back up again when you're ready. Fantastic. Okay, so the rest of the y's got to be bigger than negative 11. So f of x is greater than or equal to negative 11. C, find the set of values for x which f of x is less than 21. This is going to be a quadratic inequality. So keep in mind, we've got to solve it a little bit differently. What we're going to do is we are going to make it equal to 0 like we normally would do. But then what we're going to do is we're going to sketch a graph. We're going to find the zeros and then sketch a graph. So I want you to go ahead and pause this, do that, and then start back up again. All right, fantastic. So here's what I go. I divide out the 2, and then when I factor this, I get x minus 7 and x plus 1, giving me zeros of 7 and negative 1. When I do a quick sketch, it looks like this. I've got negative 1 and 7. It opens up. My answers are either going to be between these zeros or going to be outside these zeros. So typically I pick a x test point. In this case, 0 would be a really easy one. So I substitute the 0, x equals 0, into the quadratic equation and see if it's true or not. So I want you to do that. Substitute it in and then check and see if it's true, and then start back up again. All right, so if I put this in there, 2 times 0 squared minus 12 times 0 plus 7 is less than 21. Well, that's true. 7 is definitely less than 21. So yes, it's between the zeros. So now all I got to do is write out my answer. My answers are x. They're less than 7 and they are greater than negative 1. Okay, D. The function is defined as 2x plus k. Okay, it's a composite function. What they want us to do is g of f of x. So I've got my f of x up there, 2x squared minus 12x plus 7, and there's my g of x, 2x plus k. And then basically what I'm doing is taking this rule and put it in place of that x. So once you pause that, do that, and then start back up again when you're ready. Okay, fantastic. So when I plug it back in, what I'm going to get is 2 times 2x squared minus 12x plus 7 plus k. And then it's going to be equal to 0 because that's what we want me to do. They want me to make it equal to 0. So now I multiply things up. I get 4x squared minus 24x plus 14 plus k is equal to 0. Now the discriminant, 2 equals zeros. All right, so keep in mind the discriminant is going to be less than 0 if it's no real zeros. It's going to be greater than 0 if there's 2 different zeros. And it's going to be equal to 0 if there are 2 of the same zeros, or sometimes it's called 1 0 with a multiplicity of 2. Okay, anyway, they have 2 of the same equal zeros. So that means we're going to use the discriminant. We're going to make it equal to 0. So why don't you go ahead and pause this. Find A, B, C, use the discriminant, and then start back up again. Okay, A is going to be 4, B is going to be negative 24, and C is going to be 14 plus K. So now all I can do is plug it in the formula and then solve for K. I get negative 24 squared. Well, that's going to be 576, and then get 4 times 4 is negative 16. When I distribute the negative 16, I'm going to get a negative 224. And so then all I got to do is get the k's by itself. I'm going to find out that k is equal to 22. And that's all there is. Hope that helped. Thanks for watching.